And most of the Levantine Arabs don't pronounce it at all.
كيف حالك؟ هلو اسمي جيا. أنا من لوس أنجلوس في كاليفورنيا. عمري 30 سنة. أنا أحب أن أطبخ الحلوى. أشتغل كطيارة. وأنت؟
قوموا بزيارة الويب سايت stylegear.com واشتركوا للحصول على أفكار ملابس أسبوعية مجانية ونصائح للعناية الشخصية. تابعوني على انستغرام لجيا غارسيا للحصول على تحديثات يومية، واقرأوا مدوناتي لاستكشاف أعمق. شكرا.
I have been learning Arabic for a month now. As you can see, it needs a lot of work. I have years and years and years and decades to master this. I keep misgendering my teacher. Last night, I was practicing with my sweetheart. He was sitting with me for hours, just explaining things to me with irregular verbs. It's really interesting because it's like a puzzle where you put a bunch of pieces together, which is really fun. This fits here, this makes sense. So you're trying to make sense of the bigger picture when you take a step back, when you form a sentence. There are a lot of irregular verbs, and so when you conjugate them, you have to kind of, in English, what I like to do is use Pig Latin. So say for example, in English, you don't say you are reading, you say you are eating, Ray. So the verb changes depending on with whom you are speaking. They are reading, he is reading, she is reading, we are reading. The verb changes all the time. So it's really fun. I'm learning my more verbs. I have some vocabulary and I have the vocabulary that I need to know, like parts of the apartment, food to cook, and I forgot the other ones, but at the top of my head right now. And it's really helping me because it's Ramadan. This is not my first Ramadan where I've experienced someone in real time celebrating the whole month, observing the whole month. This is my first time, however, taking part in it and living with someone who is Muslim and observes Ramadan every day. Don't worry about all this background, it's gonna change. I'm gonna have a whole transformation decor video, a lot of things that we want to do, and video coming within this coming month anyway. And today, this last 10 days of Ramadan is very important because it is the time where the Quran is getting finished up. Ramadan is a very introspective time where you focus on worshiping. Every single aspect of your life is about humbling yourself. When it comes to doing good works to other people, sitting down and truly studying the Quran, we would sit down as much as we can and read the Quran together. I'll have the websites linked below of what I'm using. Line below it. I haven't been able to diet properly since the situation. I've had surgery. I'm not allowed to eat anything on a deficit. I'm supposed to have high protein. I'm supposed to constantly be filling my face, my body. And so this is the first time I'm feeling great. I have changed my entire diet back to what my genetics normally like and eating what I actually love as opposed to whatever is available at Ralph's and whatever I can throw together quickly, because before when I was cooking for 3 people at a time during the most unhealthy time, meaning the most painful time, because I had this incision that was open on my back. I needed to get surgery. Now that I've had the surgery, I literally got my stitches removed today. I feel feel great. I feel free. I can do the splits again. I can only do them in one direction right now. I used to be able to do them in both. The doctor said, you're super healthy, you're okay. I will have to get another surgery later for the long run, just to make sure that I'm in tip-top shape. On top of that, my body is gonna have to readjust again. My sweetheart taught me to pray. Funny enough, it's very similar to Jewish prayer, and the holiday, the way it's observed, is very similar to a different Jewish holiday. I'm not going to get into that, but you also have to remember that Muhammad's mother was Jewish. He took a lot of inspiration from the Jews. So, unpopular opinion, whether you agree with this or not, Muslims will fight on this. I was also talking with my Arabic teacher about this. I have multiple Muslim friends who we talk about this too. We've sat for hours and hours and hours and have had discussions comparing Maimonides and different imams' words in the hadith, and going back and forth in different philosophies, whether they're ancient, contemporary, all of the above, where we've sat down, had friendly discussions, and sharing our views on society, the religion, its impact in multiple ways. There are different religions, Abrahamic specifically speaking. When I listen to my sweetheart talk about it, the reason why I am learning a little bit more than usual is because I want to understand him. And also, my Arabic, learning it has helped me with understanding the different prayers. Also, for an Arab to be anti-Semitic doesn't actually make sense, because Arabs are Semitic and the Arab identity is kind of a British thing. Depending on the part of history that you're looking at, whether the Portuguese wrote the map, the Romans wrote the map, there's always going to say something different, or a different part of history will tell, and you can put the pieces together as like with tectonic mapping. You will find that a lot of things overlap. Whatever you believe, this is not about that. This is not to get political or too geographical. This is simply my take on a lot of the sacredness of this holiday. Muslims fast. Why am I learning about this? Why am I going deep into this? It's because when you have someone in your life that you sincerely care about, you want to understand every part of their heart. Even if you don't necessarily agree, you want to appreciate it. It might not be anywhere near as well as they do, because he's 30 years in the making of being Muslim, but you want to at least have a basic understanding. So I want to see what foundation is laid in his heart and how he sees the world. I know a lot of people might be against this. I've always been very open-minded. My father was very open-minded. Growing up, he would teach me about the Bhagavad Gita, talk about Buddhism, was very open about different religions from him having explored. This is not new to me. I don't think education just stops in school. It's not something that ever really ends. We could call it research, or just purely trying to understand another language that explains the world. For me, this is really special and close to my heart. What exactly is Ramadan? Ramadan was the time that the Quran was revealed to Muhammad by Angel Gabriel. It's a very special time where you try to go through the Quran and read it within 30 days, and you fast. So you eat before dawn and after dusk. I have quite a few neighbors I can see who are Muslim. This is my first time going to the mosque, and the last 10 days are very important because in the night of power, nobody knows the precise day when it was. So all the days you have to go to the mosque. These last few days are very important. It's kind of like a fashion show sometimes, depending where you are. People dress up fabulously. And I think that when you show up and present yourself to God, when you are going to church or synagogue, temple, wherever you worship, you should dress as cleanly, as respectfully, like in Sunday's best for Christians. Something I didn't know was that they perform ablutions or wudhu, so they clean themselves. And what I like to do is I just like to fully shower before I pray. If you're in the car and you fart, you do wudhu in the mosque, and they have these lovely sinks, low down sinks that you can wash yourself, which I think is really cool. I think I was not prepared for the first time I did it when my boyfriend showed me, because my makeup was all smeared, so I just ended up removing all of it. And I said, why didn't you tell me ahead of time? And he says that typically he'll do wudhu before he goes to the mosque. I will wake up every morning to sounds of his alarm going off so that he can pray, or the bathroom light going on because he is preparing himself to pray. It's really cute because I will hear him eating before going back to bed, waking up, and I'll literally wake up to sounds of a hamster chewing. It's the cutest thing in the world because I won't open my eyes, but I'll smile to myself and then I'll go back to sleep. Especially if you're not married, it's illegal to have intimate relations according to law. Being chaste is important to me right now. We're doing cheek to cheek. When we do say hello, it's not a big deal because I grew up in a religion that you also don't really touch men. As a Jew, it's also important to me that I don't hang out with a lot of dudes. I just want to have girl time, and that's it. That's all I care about. It's funny because I was talking to my Jewish friend about how we're both so goyish and nobody can ever tell that we're Jewish. Anyway, tonight is a very important night, and I want to do a whole video on how to dress modest but like glam, looking and feeling your best, not to the point that you feel frumpy and look dowdy, but truly just an angel. That's the only way I can describe modesty. Modesty is not meant for you to look like you're from the 1600s. It's meant for you to look like you're presentable, you are respectful, you look well. Modesty, I know, gets twisted and people think that you are supposed to look unattractive. It's not about you, it's about respect to God. But I think that also on top of that, you should just be your best self. You should appear as your healthiest, your most respectful, show up on time, prioritize your schedule to be there on time, to look your best, have your clothes cleaned, have yourself cleaned, looking fabulous, and prepare yourself mentally and to pray properly. I have a blog linked below that taught me how to pray, taught me the steps in English, and it also has really good translations. So you can check that out if you're interested, if you're curious. You don't have to be Muslim. Then after this is a holiday called Eid, where it's like breaking the fast. For me, I will fast. Sometimes in the beginning of Ramadan, there were a lot of things going on. So say for example, my period came and I was fasting, and we were out doing a bunch of things, and all day I felt so weak, like I couldn't even twist the doorknob open, and I felt like I was seeing stars and I was going to faint. I eventually told Adam, and he said, you don't have to fast when you're on your period, by the way. I just thought, I wish you told me sooner, because you guys know I'm all about biohacking and cycle syncing. So I want my period to pass as fast as possible by eating properly, being healthy, getting enough sleep, not exercising certain ways. It's a very gracious and forgiving schedule. You just have to kind of match your lifestyle around that. If you work in a very labor-intensive job, I have no idea how you fast. Props to you guys. Let me know in the comments below. Probably you have to eat something because you will definitely not make it through the day, and especially when it's hot, oh my goodness, the headaches and everyone is hangry. This is a really good time to watch what you say. Be especially kind to others because everyone is already hungry and grumpy and cranky. You have to be your best. It's definitely the time to be the most mindful and to take care of yourself and take care of people around you. I really enjoyed this. We're back in the city. We moved in, and right when we moved in was the start of Ramadan, and we thought this is definitely going to be a test of our relationship. Adam will say, would you like to fast with me? This would be a good day to fast. Your health is back to normal after your period is done. So I felt really good about it. And then some days I won't fast because I need to work on a work project that is really intense. I just need the caffeine. I won't eat in front of him. I'll do my best to be respectful and make the coffee after he leaves for work. If I eat lunch, I'll eat it before he breaks the fast so he doesn't see me. A lot of the time when we're at home together, I just won't eat. I'll make sure that we both eat together, and then we kind of plan our meals. He makes a lot of traditional Ramadan food from Tunisia. It's really fun. It's fascinating to watch him cook. He's a fantastic cook. and to learn more about his traditions of what they normally eat. There are vendors who sell food or clothes around the mosque during this time, which I absolutely love. I'm also looking at modest fashion specifically for the mosque because it's so different from, it's not that different, but there are even more rules to Muslim modest dressing. I remember visiting the Middle East and parts of Africa and Turkey where it was Muslim law, and at the airport a woman would be the one to check me through the security, and she would button up my shirt and my sweater for me. I wasn't wearing anything too much cleavage, but it was just to make sure that I was safe, that I didn't get any criticism from anyone, and I felt really taken care of. I felt really respected. Something else I noticed, I don't know if I should create a whole video on this about Muslim culture for Westerners like me who don't know. Having traveled and having been in relationships with different Muslim individuals, having Muslim friends, classmates, if that's worth it, let me know in the comments below if you're interested. The way we dress modestly to synagogue is different than the mosque. It's more orthodox. I'm conservative Jewish. My sweetheart told me that Orthodox Judaism is much, much closer to Islam, to his beliefs. And it makes a lot of sense, where it's different, but it's similar, but it's different, but it's similar. There's a lot of similarity. Some things are a bit more lax, and then some things are more intense. In Orthodox Judaism, you're not allowed at all to touch a man who is not your brother or your father or your blood related to you. And then covering past a certain point on your arms to enter the mosque, like you have to have it fully covering you, where in Judaism, it's like okay to hear. There are different things like that. Women can show hair, but they'll show a wig. They'll cover their hair and then they'll have a wig on top. And you can never tell because the wig is always fabulous. There's even this question of, is it actually inappropriate to wear a wig? Because sometimes the wigs look even more fabulous than their natural hair. So is it garnering more attention? There are all these different things that I've learned about that are so interesting. I don't know why this is endlessly fascinating to me. I grew up with very strict a dad who was very traditional. He always told me to cover up even more, cover up even more, cover up even more. My boyfriend is like that. You need to cover up more. And apparently it's very common in the culture where the men who are Muslim are like, this is a private thing. You should respect yourself. People pay attention to something else, not to what you're saying. So I really respect that. I appreciate that. My dad would be proud. Make yourself beautiful and still be clean. There's so many culturally different, culturally shocking things to me that I was very surprised, but pleasantly surprised. It's not, oh my gosh, that's horrible. No, it was, oh wow, that makes a lot of sense. Let me know in the comments below if you are observing Ramadan. If there's something new that you learned that you want to share, I'm more than happy to hear it. Reading the Quran is really fun with Adam because it teaches you the proper Arabic, the classical Arabic, which is what I'm learning. My teacher is also Lebanese, so he's teaching me all these really cool things about Levantine Arabic and Levantine language because they're not the same. Before they were colonized by the Arabs. My boyfriend has a lot of Berber in his language. He's Tunisian. Couscous is a Berber word. It's not Arabic. And there are lots of Moroccans who don't even identify as Arabic because they were never conquered or colonized by the Arabs. There's just so much mix. People forget that Africa is one of the most diverse continents, especially considering that it had a lot of mercantilism going on. Spices, humans, fruit, salt. That's me spouting off. I also asked Adam if this is offensive to play this music. When we were first dating, I made a joke that anytime he shows up in a vlog, I'm gonna play the oud. I'm gonna have the oud playing on his face. Or anytime I come onto the picture, it'll be like an erhu or like something really like Asian drums. And I thought it was really funny. He was like, no, that's not offensive at all. Why is that offensive? He has to approve everything that I show with his face anyway before I present anything. I don't really want to make this about him. I want to make this vlog more about my discovery of the religion, its practices, and different culture because I'm living it every day. I feel like when I am home, sometimes I'm in a different country because there is no English spoken in my house sometimes. I mean, growing up, it was like that. This is the same exact thing. This time, it's a culture I'm learning as opposed to a culture I was brought into, I was born into. So that's really fun. And we live in LA. There's a mosque near me. Each mosque is different. There are sometimes one culture will dominate it in a certain community in this area, or different imam. The person who's in Christianity would be like the priest. In Judaism would kind of like be the cantor or the rabbi. They sing the prayers also like in Judaism. They will lead in their culture. So there will be an imam who speaks in Arabic, or there will be one who's Pakistani. We like to go to the ones that are in Arabic because Adam prefers the ones that are in Arabic because he understands the language and he resonates with it more. They also translate it into English also because we're in the US. It's funny because the imam is from Southern England. He speaks perfectly in English, perfect, and he's probably like from Tottenham or something. He speaks perfect English, speaks perfect Arabic. It's really easy to listen to, especially after learning how to pray. There are certain parts you have to memorize that I'm still learning. Obviously, I just started learning Arabic properly, not just like, oh, here and there I'm learning some phrases. No, I'm fully learning MSA Modern Standard Arabic. So that's really fun. Hello, gorgeous. I wanted to wrap this vlog up with some information that I did not really touch on. It's hard to really divulge when, one, I don't know enough, nowhere near enough that I want to know, because the 6 years and years of understanding of mastery. Second, also because I couldn't really film a lot. A lot of the things that are important in this time are things that I feel disrespectful to film. I felt so bad filming if there were other people. How can I film without having their permission and then not blurring their faces out? It's especially a very sensitive thing when people are praying. I feel really weird. No matter where I am, no matter what country, I always felt uncomfortable, like I'm disrespecting if I film inside a church. I feel like it's wrong, or taking pictures and the flash is on. It makes me not feel good. As for the food, there was a situation that happened with the food. Adam was supposed to receive food, but something happened with the food in transit. His family sends him food every year for Ramadan. That literally just came. He ended up cooking the food that he normally likes. I am 2 months into learning Arabic right now. The very beginning of the month was when I filmed the past, this has been 30 days. This is a good time to reset your health, your eating schedule, your spiritual schedule. It was also a really good time to focus on myself, focus on my work, on studying, working out. Then I have to readjust to the regular schedule again, and being able to eat freely whenever I want at home in front of my sweetheart without making him feel uncomfortable or hungry or disrespected, because tensions were running high for everyone who's fasting is hungry, cranky, hangry. I want to be sensitive and respectful to that. I was at a restaurant. I was waiting for my friends, but I was so hungry. We made the reservation really late for 9:30. The kitchen was closing, so I ordered food right away. I ordered food, and while I was shaking with hunger, I read the Quran, and it actually comforted me. I know there's a lot of political discourse and controversy right now, and intifada. Me being a Jew, a lot of people have questions. When I talk with my Jewish friends and family, they are very much more worried about character than they are about religion. Non-Jews will come up to me and say, he's gonna make you convert one day. He's never been forceful about that. I've always just been curious, wanting to learn about everything. He's obviously never going to convert to Judaism, and I don't expect anybody to ever. It's actually a Jewish thing to marry another Jew because there are so little of us. I've actually been helping my Jewish friends make. One time, Adam and I went into this place where there was a woman who had a Star of David necklace. We were talking about Sephardic Judaism. She found out that he was Muslim, and she looked at us and smiled and said, "You guys are solving peace in the Middle East, one couple at a time." His family really does love me. They have huge hearts. He comes from a really good family. To me, what matters is that the person has both their parents. That's a whole other video. The person is set in their values, but they're still open-minded and willing to listen. There's a scale of how much someone is willing to listen and how much they're willing to heed. There is something to someone who has a good structure for good values, which I always appreciate, and that's long-term capabilities that I look for. It's never, oh, what kind of music are you into? Because that in the long term is not what works. That the music taste will change, but the values won't. That's always been important to me. Over time, we'll see what happens, but I'm not necessarily converting overnight. It's definitely something I'm still curious about. I'm still learning. A lot of people on the internet are extremely harsh. They're very polarized. I'm very much, let's think about it first. This side believes this side believes this. Where do I apply? Where does it apply to me? It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be black and white. It can be a little bit of here with the gradients. A lot of people don't want to think for themselves. Sometimes they just want to see what exists and sticks to that rigid box. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I haven't posted a long vlog in a long time and I feel like I'm just yapping. There's so much to learn, there's so much to uncover. I accept the religion for face value as it is because there's nothing I can change about it. There's nothing I plan on changing about it. I'm just learning. Subscribe, tell all your friends, watch this several thousand times. I will be posting a lot more style and beauty coming soon. If you want to see some more of my looks, I'll have them in my blog post link below, and then I'll have a lot more images that I can't really post here on YouTube because this video would not really make sense. So check those out. They'll have links to the outfits and the styles. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.